Today's day 15. It's finally here, 1-5. Last episode, you saw us getting ready for painting and finally applying some beautiful flat black bed liner. Today's the unveiling. We're gonna see how that flat black looks on this RV hauler named Chuggs. Join us. Hi, I'm Greg from RV Haulers, and today is day 1-5. Day 15 of converting this 2019 Mack Anthem into an RV hauler. We just finished painting, and today is going to be the big unveiling. The customers wanted this Mack Anthem flat black. We are taking almost every piece of chrome and converting it to flat black. What we're also doing in this video series is we're taking you day by day through all of the disgusting details. If you want to see disgusting details for day 15 and the unveiling of this Mack Anthem RV hauler, join us in this video. So what we're doing is almost unedited. We are just trying to show you all the tools and little steps and some of the tricks and show you what's involved in taking one of these Class 8 highway tractors and converting it, in this case, to put a Japanese 4x4 truck up here and pull the largest of fifth wheels. And we just finished painting. Everything is cured and we're gonna see how things look. So one of the things I mentioned in the last video, if you've seen that, is by using the proper paint drape material, it is amazing how this stuff, it has a static component to it, and the paint particles that might have been in the air adhere to the drape material rather than getting like dust particles or little rough spots in your paint. But in this case, what we did in the last video was we sprayed black bed liner, a flat black on this bed, and it looks really good. We're really happy with the even appearance. Flat black is hard to paint because getting the finish, you're wanting to avoid stripy lines, and I think Austin did a fantastic job with the gun, getting a really even appearance. Looks great. The joyful part of putting on hours and hours of tape. Not only do you have to take off hours and hours worth of tape, where did I leave that tag end?
Yep.
So we're trying to save steps at every opportunity. What I mean by that is we're going to remove tape, and then while we're standing right there, those lights inserted. And we got 3/4 inch button lights. They're smoked lenses intentionally. And one of the joys of adding a little bit of bed liner around these openings is it makes them a tiny bit smaller. So a little bit of soapy water.
Just tapping, not hitting.
Tappa tappa. You have a dirty cloth. Oh no, hang on. Okay, now we have a clean cloth. So the grommet goes first.
And these grommets are usually they put a little bit of rubber cement in there to hold them in place. So sometimes you gotta fight with them to get the grommet down. This one's being particularly stubborn. This is what we do for the particularly stubborn ones. Be very careful, don't poke yourself in the finger, and don't cut the rubber. Work your way around it a little bit. Break the glue tension. With our clean cloth this time.
One thing Austin reminded me was these LED lights actually have an orientation. So you can't just put them in any spinny direction. In many of these button lights, there's like a vertical, some lines in there. So when it lights up, you want to have those lines all oriented the same way. So do look at the lens really carefully. Let's see if we can try to show it. I don't know. It actually, and it even says top in really tiny lettering on it. Camera may not pick that up, but thank you.
Flip it around a little bit, maybe that'll help.
We have powder coated flat black wheels that are going on here. These are just temporary ones that we put on. We didn't want to scratch the nice ones. We got our handles back from our favorite sandblaster, and they have been brush blasted. So a really light sandblasting just to rough up the surface inside. And you can see we took the locks out, so there was no chance of compromising those locks with the sand in there. But we're gonna get those primed and painted to match Chuggs' black color. So here you can see, hopefully in the camera, there's little vertical lines, and we've got them all pointing straight up and down. We're ready to pull Chuggs out. Word of caution, always take a look underneath, do a little bit of a, literally it's like a pre-trip. Make sure there's nothing hiding underneath wheels and the coast is clear before we back out.
And reason being is my son works in a tire shop, oil change shop, and I really want to look this week because somebody didn't look at his tire shop, oil shop, and somebody had a 10mm socket driven through their front tire.
Ooh.
And it cost the tech, so I don't want to be the guy that drives a 10mm socket through the tire.
They still need my 3 points of contact when I'm getting in.
Yeah,
we don't have 3 points of contact.
We took your handle off.
Yeah, I was confused for a few seconds. How do I get in?
Now it's time for all the other parts on Chuggs to get turned into flat black. Let me show you what we've got laid out and the prep work we have to do. Starting at this end, we've got our can drum assemblies. So these two cabinets, one goes on top of the other, it ends up being 6 feet wide and a total of 7 feet tall. These are actually custom ones that we built for the customers. They're 24 inches deep, so deeper drum box than the usual 16. And what you see Rob doing here is getting the doors prepped. So he's taking the polycarbonate hinges off and the stainless bolts out and putting the doors back on with a little plate in the back that'll hold the doors in place. You'll also see that all of these drums have already, before we assembled them, we pre-scuffed them, we pre-sanded them so that the primer is going to adhere really well. Turning around, let's go here. So next we have some of our can step components. So we'd never made them before, but we figured out how to make steps for a Mack Anthem. So those are the side pieces, and Austin right now has the treads. So the treads, the steps that your toes are gonna go on. Let's clean them up a little bit, and we'll show you a trick here with how to mask these off. So these are gonna be the front edges of the steps, and we wanna have them bed lined and flat blacked as well. Of course, the tread surface, we're gonna leave that grit alone, so it'll get masked off. But to get a nice clean edge, we use a rubber roller.
It helps secure the tape to the top of the panel too.
So it gets right, kind of pushes the tape into the grit, and that way we don't have any leakage underneath that tape, and we'll get a super clean edge. Here we go, unedited. We're gonna roll. So Dan discovered, sadly, that the lower step corner pieces, it's really a chrome sticker on plastic. And darn it, it was peeling.
Yep, once they peel,
So once it starts peeling, you can't fill it or try to do any body work on that. So
paint will lift off of it, honestly.
the good thing is it's early in the morning, so Dan still has patience for a while anyways.
Two patience.
And he's gonna peel off all this awful little sticker stuff. So all of these chrome trims are either gonna be scuffed. These ones look okay.
Those will be just scuffed.
Yeah, those will get scuffed.
These guys, these were in the lower
bumper. weren't they?
bumper, so they took most of the beating. So
Don't forget after the scout, they get a pre-treat.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll show the product that we're using. We're not keeping any secrets anymore. Those are my trailer tires for my small fifth wheel. So those are not going on Chuggs anywhere. Just because we're priming, we're gonna do those at the same time. Let's go over to lower fairings. So these were covering the fuel tanks, and you might have seen in an earlier video when we were waiting for paint to dry, Rob was grabbing the 3M Scotch-Brite, the rough pad, the green one, and he was taking all the shine off of this so that we can, everything's gonna stick. You'll see the difference between one that's been done and one that hasn't. You can see the shine on here. And if we come over to this one, you'll see that the light, look at the light reflection between here from our lights of overhead and compare it to there. So you can see that's what it has to look like absolutely everywhere. And you're looking at me like you have another thing to share.
I have a little trick.
Okay, tell us tricks.
So if they buy the steps from us and they want to paint the fronts, and you want to tape the top surface, warm it up just a little bit. It accepts tape better when it's warm.
Okay.
And clean. We use spray 9 to clean it. So
Okay, thank you. I see something else I can talk about. We are going to be flat bed lining and flat blacking these lower steps and fairings. So wherever you can, take off pieces, right? Like trying to get bed liner in that nook and cranny or in behind this tread, it wouldn't look very good. So wherever you can, take things apart so that everything is underneath. So there's one of the completed step treads, the smooth front edge, and Austin will just take all of those and stack them up so that he's doing one spray, one shot across all of them. And yes, we did remember the grab handles that are adjacent to the doors. We'll get some of those rock chips filled in, scuffed and primed. Austin reminded me that to let you folks know that wherever you have rock chips, even though we're putting on bed liner on these grab handles, fill the rock chips, because many times they're just deep enough that you'll still see them. You'll still see a little divot with the bed liner. We got more parts over here I forgot to show you. So there's the grill, the Mack grill. That's gonna need to get cleaned up and sanded and prepared for primer. Here's a lot of the trim pieces that go around the grill as well. And we did take the back, this was call it a bug screen that goes in behind the grill. We took that off too because everything has to look flat black and no chance of chrome being visible. We'll get working on all of these parts. So, do you know the rule of the garage? No matter how big your garage is, it's never big enough. You're always gonna fill it. Well, look at this. Same with the shop. We still haven't put out these handles. We're gonna have to find some room for those. Probably lay out some more sawhorses and temporary work tables. We'll get it all laid out, all prepped, and hopefully we'll see on day 15. The prep takes a lot of work. Hopefully on day 15 here, we'll get to the point of actually applying some primer. We'll see. In case you're wondering, my little sticker here is not a safety award. You know, even though I did go a whole month without a workplace incident, this is not a safety sticker. My 2-year-old granddaughter was here in the yard just a moment ago, and she likes stickers. So she likes to give her grandpa stickers. I'll wear them proudly for now.
it's just too hard to clean the paint off of this surface, so I make sure it's really good and down.
Is that German? Good and down?
Good and down, yes.
Some of the other German words you have is Gesinte.
Yep.
When you have something that has to goes into something else, there's the
good and tight.
good and tight.
The bolt is
Good and tight. Yeah. Well, it's covered right now with a tarp, but you know that stool that's over there? That's a sit-air. You can sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're we won't get into the French language yet. That's for later.
Coffee
Lesson.
cup over there, that's a lever. Yeah, lever alone, it's mine.
Okay. I showed you those rims that were on the ground that we were going to prime and paint, and I thought why not do a little bit of show and tell? So we're gonna squirrel for a second. This is a Newmar 34-foot fifth wheel, so a much, much shorter rig than we normally travel with. We have a New Horizons 43 out in the yard, but I'm always looking for the really high quality fifth wheels that you can fix and upgrade. And I bought this one a little while ago. I haven't done anything with it. We obviously see we've taken all the decals off. What I'm actually creating is I'm creating an off-grid RV, fully off-grid. So I'm converting this to diesel heat. I've got a whole bunch of solar that I've installed up on the roof. We've got a pure sine wave inverter, DC to DC charger coming off of the truck. So we're working on this, not we, I've been working on this, and I'll show you a little sneak peek inside here. There's my diesel heater control. I did all new flooring in here. Slides are in, obviously. And I converted, what else do we do? So we did all new window treatments. Everything is new LED, new backsplash, new island. Gonna get the dishwasher installed here in a little while. But anyways, that's why those rims are in there, is this has been a winter project of mine to create something that I'm not afraid to take into really remote locations with my RV hauler. Over on this side, I've got the start of one of my diesel heaters. I've been using these for years and years to heat my fifth wheels instead of the propane. So super efficient, super quiet. Once you get the RV, whatever you're dealing with, up to temperature, they just kind of purr and hardly use any diesel. They're incredibly efficient. I love them. I love the efficiency. And I love how they don't wake you up in the middle of the night when the furnace turns on. For years, I've taken my RV hauler into some of the most remote goat trail, alpine meadows up in the mountains. I'll maybe insert a couple pictures or some video here. I'm not afraid to take my rigs off the pavement, off the gravel, even into, well, like as you can see here, grass and meadow locations. And the goal is, with that RV, is to be able to go into even more remote ones with our RV hauler. So sorry for the little squirrel here, but I mean, we absolutely love our New Horizons. This is the second one that we've owned. But one of the issues when you're going into really off-road conditions is the lower skirting, right? These fifth wheels have that skirting that goes down. If you look, it's kind of even with the center of the wheels. So if you're going off-road and into some lumpy, bumpy stuff, there's a risk of that stuff getting caught. So I don't want to sacrifice my nice fifth wheel. I've got one. We'll play with a little bit more in those remote locations. I'm also taking this opportunity on those wheels. I'm upgrading the load capacity on the rubber that was on there, and the speed rating as well, so that I'm not so worried about, you know, punctures or heating or running a little bit higher highway speed and having them heat up.
This is what takes your patience in the morning.
That's not fun. Here's the black powder coated wheels that are going on Chuggs. Sandblasted, powder coated, and balanced. Rock chip fixes.
Rock chip fixes.
Let's show what we're using.
Except this time I'm being smart and I'm using a glove. So I don't
wipe
it all over my pants again.
Making it all scuffed and scratched.
Feels so weird scratching up chrome. It's like, you know.
With our can bed material and our can drums, we need to get this scuffed up as well. So orbital sander, a little bit of 220, and we'll get, of course, we'll get all of this dust off before we prime. So this is a temporary wood blocker to be able to mount the door, and there's a seal that's going to go in here, like a compression foam seal that goes around here. So we mask this off so we don't have any chance of bedliner getting on it. Masking off the back sides of the doors so nothing sprays through. have another secret to share with you. So priming shiny surfaces, especially chrome-like surfaces like this, obviously you see us scuffing everything, getting a dull finish, but even that is not perfect. So what we want to share with you is an adhesion promoter that works for primer as well. You're going to see us use this in a few different places. This one's made by Paul. It's called Grip Number 4. And what this does is when applied to chrome stickers, like this stuff, the primer adheres to it 4 times stronger, roughly. This is also great stuff for like 3M VHB tape. Like when you're sticking the double-sided tape on, this stuff works great, but it also works for primer.
Yeah, and this is what they could tell us to use from the guys over at Global for a pre-prime for the chrome or any shiny stuff that we can't really scuff.
Okay, so hopefully you heard that with our loud exhaust fans running here. What Austin shared with you, in case you didn't hear it, was from the wholesale paint suppliers. They're pointing us in this direction. They've had really good success, and we have too. We are really seeing even the tough stuff like this, even though we've scuffed it with the 3M Scotch-Brite pad, this is the magic elixir, and it does stink. So we have the exhaust fans on right now. Spinning the camera over to this side, what Dan has done is he's used some wipe down material first, so he's gotten all the dust off of these panels, and he's now, so here's an example.
Just doing my last scuff. Just looking for anything that looks shiny, because shiny,
no bueno.
No bueno, nothing will stick to it. So
you can see how this hasn't been wiped off yet. That's been wiped off, and we're looking for any little nooks or crannies or edges. And like she'll still have a little bit of shine on them.
a little bit of elbow grease.
Oh, we got the elbow grease going. Yeah.
Go.
Sharp elbows, that's the key. Last step before priming is a wipe down with final wash. Gets rid of all the dust, gets rid of any possible chances of residue like an oil or a grease, and it makes sure that the primer sticks. So that's what we'll be using on these painted surfaces, not on the chrome, now that the U-POL number 4 has been applied. This stuff dries really quick. You don't need to soak it. You don't need to like wipe it down with a huge amount of liquid. Just very thin layer.
I'm trying to open it.
We're gonna call it there. There's the end of day 15. If you wanna see some bed liner being applied and some flat black, that's gonna be in the next video. So join us for day 16. Appreciate everybody watching this video series, and everybody, please drive safe. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.